Over half of all people over the age of 60 regularly struggle to stay asleep. They often wake up at 3 a.m. and spend the rest of the night staring at the ceiling, experiencing chronic early morning awakening and highly fragmented rest. To cope, 1 in 5 older adults currently rely on sedative hypnotics. These chemical sleeping pills come with a steep cost. Chronic use alters the physical architecture of the brain's sleep cycles, creating daytime grogginess, increasing the risk of falls, and elevating long-term dementia risk. Right now, the standard non-chemical alternative is bright light therapy. Doctors instruct patients to sit in front of intense, visible white light during specific evening hours, essentially using brightness to force the aging circadian clock to delay its natural cycle. While visible light therapy does offer relief, it doesn't work perfectly for everyone. Millions of older adults are still left with a difficult choice: endure exhausted, fragmented days, or build a dangerous reliance on pharmaceutical sedatives. Recently, researchers in Taiwan ran a clinical trial testing a totally different, non-chemical approach, using a segment of the light spectrum that the human eye cannot even perceive. Over a strict 3-week period, the study tracked 59 older adults, all of whom suffered from chronic early morning awakening insomnia. They tested 2 distinct hardware approaches against each other. One group wore a visor shining visible white light slightly above their eyes. Another group wore a band projecting invisible near-infrared light directly into the back of the neck. White light makes logical sense. It mimics the sun. But beaming an invisible wavelength at the base of the skull raises an obvious physiological question. How does that actually put anyone to sleep? Visible white light works strictly through vision. The light hits the retina, travels along the optic nerve to the suprachiasmatic nucleus, the brain's master biological clock, and physically delays when the body expects to shut down. Near-infrared light utilizes a different mechanism called photobiomodulation. Because the specific wavelength is longer, it bypasses vision entirely. It passes through human skin and interacts directly with the tissues and organelles beneath the surface. The 850 nanometer wave penetrates the neck and targets the mitochondria. It boosts the synthesis of ATP, our cell's primary energy source, which calms local neural pathways without altering melatonin levels in the body. The trial was essentially pitting 2 biological strategies against each other: resetting the master clock in the brain versus recharging the cellular battery in the tissue. This chart from the study tracks the Pittsburgh Sleep Quality Index. The downward slopes show that subjective sleep quality improved significantly across every single intervention group. This specific graph tracks total sleep duration. Looking at the isolated therapies, the data shows the white light group gained an average of 43 minutes of sleep per night, while the near-infrared group gained 48 minutes. The data reveals a significant synergistic effect. The combined therapy group gained 1 hour and 4 minutes of total sleep, alongside an 8.8% boost in sleep efficiency. It is worth noting that the raw data from the patient's actigraphy tracking watches struggled to capture the full scope of these improvements. The objective sensor data slightly lagged behind the patient's actual subjective experience of deep, uninterrupted restfulness. Applying a visible clock resetting signal while simultaneously recharging cellular tissue provides a compound effect, delivering more rest than using either pathway in isolation. When the researchers dug deeper into the trial data, they discovered a hidden variable. The broad averages masked the fact that this treatment is highly individual. They categorized patients by chronotype. Late chronotypes, whose natural rhythm makes them night owls, derived their best results strictly from white light therapy alone. Early chronotypes, the early birds, only achieved their massive sleep improvements when they received the combined near-infrared and white light treatment. These results suggest age-related insomnia is tied to the exact timing of an individual's internal rhythm, requiring a treatment as specific as the person's own biological clock. Sleep medicine is steadily stepping away from the blunt instrument of broad-spectrum pharmaceutical sedatives, moving instead toward precision chronobiology. The goal is simple: allowing older adults to wake up naturally restored, completely free from the dangerous grogginess caused by chemical sleeping pills. Future treatments will likely rely on combining specific visible and invisible light wavelengths, calibrated to a patient's individual daily rhythm. By treating the master clock and the localized cell simultaneously, medicine finally has a viable blueprint to give older adults their nights back.